Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Not only is, in the EntreMD world is August the private practice physician month, but we have actually gone ahead and secured a national day. Okay. So August the 13th is National Private Practice Physicians Day. This is national. You can Google it. Okay. And this is a day when we honor the people who are in private practice doing the work. We support their work. We do all of that. Okay. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Things are about to change radically for the physician community and really for the healthcare space as a whole. And I want to invite you to be a huge part of what is happening. August in the EntreMD world is the private practice physician month. Like, this is the month where we do a lot to support private practices. And you may be listening to this and you do not run a private practice, nor do you have any interest as far as that goes, but you have a huge part to play. So I want to challenge you. This is an episode to listen to. This is an episode to share with the people in your world, because everything's about to change for private practice doctors all over the United States. And I cannot wait to share that with you. Okay. Now, a lot of my interest in what happens with private practice started, of course, I have run a private practice for the last 14 years. And, I learned so much in that process, so much of what we can do to make it work and all of those things. And I started working with EntreMD to support, physicians, of course, who are running any kind of business, but private practice as well, and challenging them like, okay, yes, they've told you can't thrive, but you can. For those who are starting, they told you can't break even till 3 years, but it doesn't have to be 3 years, and all of these things. But things took a turn for me when I read about, Walmart closing 50 of its clinics. 50 clinics. They just made this decision, we're going to shut 50 clinics down. And I remember thinking, I said, oh my goodness, if they shut 50 clinics down and each of those clinics had a panel of only 1,000 patients, that's 50,000 patients who've been displaced. 50,000. And at the same time, it's like, CVS is closing this number in California, Walgreens is closing this number. And so there are all these closures happening. And I'm like, what's going on with healthcare? How many people no longer have a doctor? How it's so terrifying when you think about it. And I said, wow, the work that we do is even more important because we need private practices to thrive so that they can take care of the patients, so they can expand their capacity to take care of more patients, for people to see, oh my goodness, private practice is a model that works, so other people can come in to take care of patients, because this is the deal. On an individual level, yes, we need our private practices to work, but as a country, We need our private practices to work, and we need to support private practice doctors everywhere. Okay. So we are in a time where less than 50% of private practices are owned by physicians. And physicians are the ones who are going to stick it out. They're the ones who are going to do the work. They're the ones who are going to put patients first. And so as far as I'm concerned, we need a lot more private practices, not only thriving, but coming in, to take their place and all of that. So this is the reason why we declared August is, Private Practice Physicians Month, right? And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But, what's the issue? Like, to start with, what's the issue? The issue is that, in the climate that we are in, it is hard for a lot of people to sustain a private practice, to make it profitable and all of those things. And you may be in a point where you're like, no, that's not quite the challenge that I'm having, but I want you to just lean in and work with me here, right? What is the reason why we have all these economic challenges? Well, one is that, most insurance, practices are insurance-based private practices. They're being paid by insurance companies, right? And stuff like that. And over the years, there's been a constant decline in the amount of reimbursements that, private practice are getting for the care that they provide for their patients. That's on one side. So the revenue is decreasing, if you will. And at the same time, the cost of the delivery of services, like year to year, that goes up anyway. COVID made that an exponential increase, and it's just continued from there. After, COVID, we had the Great Resignation. With the Great Resignation, the cost of hiring great staff went up and all of that. So all of this is going up while the reimbursements are going down, right? And then you have the administrative burdens. Oh my goodness, is one thing after the other that changes every 2 seconds, right? And so there are challenges. Am I saying there are no challenges? Of course there are challenges. What I am saying is that we can thrive in the midst of these challenges. So what these challenges do is they set a stage where for the doctors, on an individual level, there's financial instability, right? Like there are many doctors who are like, okay, how am I going to meet payroll I had to go into my savings or go into, our rainy day fund to go take care of payroll for this week. And there are doctors who have taken up second jobs, like a whole other job so that they can pay the bills of their practices. Now you see why we are so almost fanatical about supporting docs, because we're like, you are the people who healthcare is relying on to a large extent, and we need you to be okay, right? And so there's the financial insecurity there. There's the burnout, because there's so much more to do, maybe with less hands, maybe with, it's less efficient. So it's just so much more to do. And so there are doctors who are like, yeah, my practice is a multi-million-dollar practice, but I want to throw the whole thing away, right? Because of the level of burnout. And you might say, Dr. Una, you're usually a lot more optimistic than this. What's going on? I'm coming. Just hang on. Okay. And a lot of times when this is not, it's not that nothing is done about it, the practices go on to fail, right? And so on the individual side, this is a problem for the patients. When you have a practice that, is not sustained, or a practice that goes out of business, that represents real humans who don't have a doctor. This represents real humans that, don't have access to care anymore. Think about the 80-year-old who's hypertensive. Think about the, 4-month-old that is waiting 2 months, 6 months to get shots. Like, think of all these things, right? And then on a community level, I mean, for every private practice that goes out of business, you're talking about, thousands of people who no longer have access to care. Depending on the size of the business, we're talking tens of thousands of people. And there are a lot of, big players who came into this space, whether that's private equity or like your, CVS's and your Walmarts and things like that. And when they decide we're not doing this clinic anymore, it is such a challenge, because we don't have enough private practices, or we do not have private practices with capacity, or we do not have private practices that are profitable enough to take on, the patients who are displaced. So this is a huge problem. Okay. And you may say, yeah, thank goodness, that's why I'm not private practice. No, this is bigger than that, right? Because you are going to need a doctor. Your family members are going to need doctors. Your friends are going to need doctors. We need the doctors to be okay. Now, over the last 5 years, I have had the privilege of working with doctors who are building businesses, including doctors who are building private practices. We have had the privilege of working with doctors who started off as employees and now are running very successful multi-million-dollar practices. And what we want to do for the month of August, the entire month, is really to bring a high level of support to private practice doctors everywhere. And this could be you, but this extends to your friends, this extends to your colleagues who are running practices and all of that. I have run my private practice for the last 14 years, and it has survived the pandemic. It has survived the Great Resignation. It continues to thrive, which I'm just so grateful for. But again, we have years and years and years. We have a lot of mileage as far as experience goes, and we want to share that. So, like I said from the beginning, August is Private Practice Physicians Month, where we are really supporting the physicians who run private practices. And there are a number of things that we're doing to pull that off. And so the first thing is we are going live every day, Monday through Friday, to share simple concepts for physicians who own private practices, whether that is what kind of meetings to have with your biller, whether that looks like cash injection strategies for when things are slow, when it looks for how to win in a world where CVS and Walmart are not. Like, we have one thing after the other, and it's all designed with one purpose: to help you, give you the strategies, give you the nuggets, give you the mindset shifts, give you the connections, give you the resources that you need to win in private practice. So that's the first thing we're doing. The second thing we're doing is we have a book that is launching August 13th. And it is the Profitable Private Practice Playbook, right? This book this is no fluff. When I say no fluff, like zero fluff, but it goes into the 7 ways private practice owners leave money on the table every single day and how to fix it, right? It is such a game changer. In this book, I share an example of a fictitious character called Dr. Ebony, and show in very simple terms how with these strategies that she recouped, like almost $1 million, like of money that she was just leaving on the table. And I picked a pediatrician on purpose because I know people are like, oh, we're the lowest paid specialty. We're lowly pediatricians and all, which I would never describe myself as that. And please don't ever describe yourself as that. But I picked her so that you can take a look. And you might say, oh, I don't believe that it can be 800,000 or whatever. Fine. What if it's 400,000? What if you could add 400,000 to your bottom line? What if you could add 300,000 to your bottom line? Right? Okay. So we have this book release, and this is a fantastic book. You can get a copy for yourself as the owner. You can get it for your office manager, your front desk lead, your biller, all of these things. So your whole team is on the same page. And we're like, we are going to make this practice work from the very beginning. Even when I was very ignorant of the challenges that were happening in private practice. Not to say I was all that. It's just that I was not in that world, so I didn't know, right? But I remember from the very first team member I had, I said, this is a meeting I had with her. I said, this is our mission statement. Ivy League Pediatrics provides expert medical care with unparalleled customer service in a profitable way. Like, profit is in my mission statement, right? From the get-go. And because I was like, I never want to look at you and say, oh, we can't make payroll this week. I never want to look at you and say, oh, we have to go out of business. Like, one of my greatest responsibilities to you as a team member is to keep this practice profitable. And one of the greatest responsibilities to my patients is to keep this practice profitable, right? Because if it's not profitable, I don't get to provide the expert medical care in an unparalleled way. Okay. And so we talk a lot about a lot of these things, a lot of these concepts in the book. Okay. And you want, again, like I said, you want to get it for yourself. You want to get it for your team and all of those things. And you just get them on board and you say, listen, we are going to build a profitable practice. We are going to build a practice that is not going to be a statistic. We are going to build a practice that is sustainable, and we will continue to serve more and more people. And we are going to continue to like, payroll is not going to be an issue. We're just not going to do that. We could probably do some bonuses, raises, and we'll have financial freedom. Okay. So that's the second thing. So the first thing is the live. The second thing is the book release. The third is I'm very, very big on implementation. You can tell. I don't want you to just read the book and you're like, oh, wow, that was just so amazing. I want you to be able to implement. So the third thing we did is we created an assessment. It's called the Private Practice Profitability Assessment. And it's it will walk you through. It's a very simple questionnaire. You can finish it in 2 to 3 minutes, and it will kind of show you, fine, yes, there are a number of things that we can fix. There are a number of opportunities. We don't call them problems. A number of opportunities you have to change things in your private practice, but this is your lowest hanging fruit. This is the best place that you can start from, right? And we give you those pointers. Very simple quiz. You can take this in 3 minutes or less, and it will give you pointers. You can take it back to your team and you can say, okay, let's go make these changes, right? It kind of points like, this is X, go make these changes. And then the fourth thing we're doing is we're hosting a workshop on August the 24th. And if you are like, wait, if you're listening to after the time when this goes live and after August the 24th, at the same link, you'll be able to get the replay on all of that. Okay. All right. So this is the deal. In that workshop, we're not coming to teach all the fluff or anything like that. We are coming to actually implement, like in real time. We're going to help you uncover, okay, this is a deficiency. This is an opportunity that I have, and then sit in real time and fix it, or schedule, when to fix, or delegate it there in real time. So think about it like, like a CEO hour where you just come to work on your practice, right? Like you're not working in it, you're working on it, right? You hear that phrase all the time. Well, work on your business, not just in your business. This gives you that opportunity to do that. Total game changer. Complete game changer. Okay. So these are 4 things we're doing in the month of August to make private practices better. So here's an announcement for you. Not only is, in the EntreMD world is August the private practice physician month, but we have actually gone ahead and secured a national day. Okay. So August the 13th is National Private Practice Physicians Day. This is national. You can Google it, okay? And this is a day when we honor the people who are in private practice doing the work. We support their work. We do all of that, okay? So let me tell you what your part is. And this is your part whether you are running a private practice or not. This is what we do for healthcare. Remember how we talk about physicians like we're the Calvary, there's no Calvary coming. This is how you take your role as the Calvary. So a number of things you're going to do. So first, if you're in private practice, you're going to use all the resources. So you're going to, take a look at the YouTube lives that we're doing. You're going to get your copy of the book. You're going to do the private practice assessment. You're going to attend the workshop so you can implement and work on your practice. You're going to use all of them. You can find all of these resources at EntreMD.com/private practice book. So EntreMD.com/private practice book. Everything is there. So you're going to use all of these resources. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to share all of these resources with at least 10 private practice owners. Okay. Now you may say 10, that seems like a lot, but this is the deal. In the United States, there are 123 private practices alone, 123,000 private practices. Okay. That are primary care private practices. This does not include your dermatologists and your psychiatrists and all of these other people. And so there's so many practices. There's so much work to be done. So 10 is an itty bitty 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 number. Okay. Like, yes, it's a number, but it's an itty bitty number compared to the problem we have to solve. So you share this with 10 private practice owners in your world. And then the third thing is you amplify private practice owners, like especially on the National Private Practice Physician Day. Like if you're listening to this right when it's released, make a commitment. Like, I'm going to amplify them. I'm going to support them. I'm going to encourage them, whether you're a private practice owner or not. What does that look like? That looks like giving a Google review, right? Like giving a Google review, especially, like this is a practice you've worked with and all of this stuff. Or you can give a Google review of the physician themselves, right? Like even if you haven't worked with them, go to their practice website, leave a review. It could look like a video testimonial. So this could be you endorsing somebody who's in private practice and all of that. Create a video, right? Record it, tag them on it so they can share it to their assets or whatever, or they can use it in their email list or whatever, but amplify, make the burden, just give them a good day. Give private practice owners everywhere a good day, right? And then the third thing is You could do a simple handwritten card. Like, hey, like, we see what you're doing with your clinic. We see all the people you're serving. Great job. We support you. We're here for you. Blah, 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 blah. Like, do that. Right? So you're going to use all the resources. You're going to share all the resources with 10 doctors, and you're going to amplify some private practice owners. Okay. Google review, video testimonial that you can tag them on, simple thank you card, but do something to keep them in the fight. Now, if you're in private practice, I do want to put this picture in front of you. I know that it's challenging, and I'm so grateful that you haven't quit on it yet. And I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to go all in to make your practice profitable. We have provided resources. If there are questions you have after that, we have a live event. We have all of these things. We're here to support you so you can win. Okay. Like, go all in to make your private practice profitable. Yes, are we going to need to ultimately redesign and restructure and innovate? We will, but this is where we start from, right? This is where we start from. The next stage will be the whole redesign. And the stage after that will be coming after the insurance companies, so that what is going on, like, we will not accept that anymore. Right? But to get there, we have to fix up our house first. Okay. So I'm rooting for you. I know it's not the easiest thing, but you got this, and you have partners in EntreMD. We're here to support you. Some of you listening, you're already in the EntreMD business school. We're here to support you. Like, I just want to challenge you. Don't give up. Stay in the fight. Plan to win. Do the work. We are on our way. Okay. So as you go be somebody who is a gift to the community of private practice owners. Okay. Go be a gift, share the resources with them, support them, do all of that. But a time is coming where the pendulum is going to swing in the opposite direction. And most private practices are going to be owned by physicians. Most thriving private practices are going to be owned by physicians. A time is coming where private practices will look different. They will thrive better. We will have a different relationship with the insurance companies. All of that is coming, but it all starts from what we do in August, right? It all starts from this moment. So go play your part, whether you own a practice or not, and share this episode, oh my goodness, with every doctor that you know. Like, hey, the groups that you're in and all of this stuff, just say, hey, go listen to this, okay? A private practice revolution is underway, and it all starts with what we do right now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.